Just because she can control the weather doesn't mean she's got a sunny disposition. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we will explore the comic book origins of Ororo Munroe, otherwise known as Storm.
I'd like you to meet Aurora Munroe, also called Storm.
Storm. What do they call you? Wheels?
As with most comic book characters, there are often reimaginings and different versions to a character's past. We've chosen to primarily follow the storyline which unfolded in 1975's Giant Size X-Men #1, which was then expanded upon in 1976's Uncanny X-Men #102. This X-Men member with the power to manipulate the elements was first introduced when Professor Xavier went on a recruiting spree to build an all-new team in the mid-70s. As a result, this superhero was introduced to the X-Men comics as part of a new character lineup to prevent the team from having an all-male cast. At the same time, the white-haired but youthful mutant was shown to be a priestess wielding so-called magical powers in Kenya. Referred to as Ororo, Great Goddess of the Storm, the locals would journey to visit her and beg her to help them control the weather. Hearing their plight, she would ease the local droughts so they could grow their crops. When using her powers, Storm's eyes went from crystal blue to pure white. Once Ororo finished demonstrating her power, having flown up with the winds, summoning lightning and a massive downpour, she returned to the ground to find Charles Xavier waiting for her. He had arrived to both witness her powers and ask for her help. It was at this point that Xavier admitted that though she had clearly everything, including local admirers, she was needed to protect mankind. He admitted that it would be difficult, but she could make a real difference in the world. Sensing his sincerity, she reluctantly joined his cause, taking on the alternate name of Storm. The following year, Storm's backstory was finally fully established during an encounter between the X-Men team and the Juggernaut. During that grueling ambush, Storm was gripped with fear and panic. Relapsing into long-forgotten traumatic memories while her friends did battle, it was shown that she was one of a long line of African witch priestesses, while her father was a photojournalist. This flashback to her infancy also revealed that as a 6-month-old child, her parents moved from Harlem to Egypt in the summer of 1951. It was a short time later that her parents died during the Suez War, otherwise known as the Second Arab-Israeli War, when a downed jet crashed into their family home. Storm managed to survive the incident, but was left alone in the wreckage alongside the bodies of her dead parents. Following this, she grew up on the streets, surviving thanks to befriending a street thief that showed her his ways. By the time she was 12, she had traveled from Egypt to the Sahara, making the 2,000-mile journey by foot. Stumbling upon a lush tropical paradise, she made it her home, living a solitary life under the guise of a goddess thanks to her powers, while attempting to forget her troublesome past. Meanwhile, back in the present, Xavier sensed that she and the other X-Men had been ambushed by the Juggernaut. With the X-Men team all but defeated, she was being used as part of a trap intended to catch and kill Charles Xavier. However, when he arrived and used his mind powers to battle the evil mutants, a blaster fire blew a hole in the castle wall, allowing Storm to see the sky and summon her power to save the day. In the years that followed, Storm grew to become a much more self-assured and courageous member of the team. She's also gone through various visual reimaginings, including a rather controversial punk revival. Not just a mainstay of the X-Men comic books, Storm has become a staple of almost everything X-Men related, from the various cartoon series to the video games.
You win!
Storm was finally given the big screen treatment when Halle Berry was cast as the iconic character in the live-action X-Men movie series. Are you a fan of this stormy-tempered mutant superhero? For more informative comic book origins, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.